Hey you! What are you doing here? Didn't you hear the curfew warning?
Relax. Look at his wrist. He's got a mole bracelet.
So you're one of those domesticated rats? You people disgust me. At least the rest of the worms at the camp have some dignity. But you guys, the moles, you're nothing more than a pack of treacherous stool pigeons.
No doubt, I have a great paragon of dignity before me. My hatred for these pigs has only grown. And more so since the incident at the camp entrance with the mole's children. Ruthless bastards. I just want to ask you guys a few questions. Do you know what the establishment was before the Great Wave?
I can't say I do. I lived on the other side of town. But judging from what's left, I'd say it looks like it was a bookstore. Looks like it burned down to the ground after the Great Wave.
Well, I for one am glad that nest of bookworms was destroyed. I never liked books. They always were a total waste of time.
Is that right? At first glance, I would have taken you for someone with refined literary tastes.
I think that description fits you to a T.
Watch your mouth, you dirty rat! And don't think that bracelet would protect you. I could blow your head off without batting an eyelid. Don't forget who's in charge here.
Why are you posted here?
Just following orders. Rat, we're here to protect and serve the inhabitants of this city. That's our mission.
Yes, I can see how the people feel much safer with you around.
We're doing our nightly rounds, and we have orders to keep a particular eye on this neighborhood.
And why this neighborhood in particular?
Well, as you can see, this area of the city was left almost intact after the Great Wave. It was kind of a miracle. Most of the homes and businesses are still standing, so burglary attempts are pretty popular. If there's anything left in the city worth guarding, it's here.
You ask a lot of questions. Have you come to steal something, rat?
No, of course not. With officers of the law like you, I'd never dare do anything like that.
I wouldn't provoke my partner too much if I were you. He's plenty jumpy today, and he's sometimes rather unpredictable.
And as for you, blabbermouth, I'd watch my tongue if I were you. How I am is nobody's business. And you, get back to your nest, rat!
So how's the night going?
Very quiet, except for a shooting at the entrance to the city a few hours ago. I think someone tried to steal some food. And when that happens, you have to act decisively. That's our duty.
It would be a fantastic night if it wasn't for those revolting cats. This damn neighborhood is infested with them.
Cats?
My partner doesn't like cats, and tonight they've been howling non-stop since we started our rounds.
Filthy creatures, dirty and pestilent. They're to blame for everything.
I won't bother you anymore. Keep up the good work. The only light source for the area is hanging from this wooden post, and the tangle of cables and shoddy connections up there speaks eloquently of the quality and condition of the installation.
Shut up, you filthy beasts! Goddamn mangy animals! Get out of there! I'm going to gouge out your eyes one by one! Skedaddle!
But what is your problem with cats?
Those cats are to blame for everything! They're what brought the disease to the city! They're what brought the virus that infects the dissolved!
Here we go again. I've told you 1,000 times. That's nonsense.
Of course it's not nonsense! I heard it from the friend of a friend who works in a research center!
Those poor creatures aren't to blame for anything.
Shut your face, you worm! You see that? It's comical! Rats defending cats! The world's been turned upside down!
Yes, it is comical. Cats being chased by pigs. In any case, those poor creatures can rest easy. That guy's arteries would burst before he'd be able to catch one of them. I don't have a good feeling about the deep red of the cover. I'm not going to take one. They're what's left of the cinema section. Only a couple of biographies survived the fire. Let's see, Dario Argento and John Carpenter. Burnt paper. The whole place is full of it. Hey, wait! One of these posters has a photograph of Reverend Blake on it. The Beechwood Oracle Bookstore invites you to a reading of The Annihilation of Time, where you can meet the book's author, Edward Blake. That explains why that deranged preacher had the card from this place in his pocket. On the other hand, I no longer have the slightest doubt as to the name of this establishment. The sign says, "Emergency exit, Beechwood Oracle Bookstore. Do not block." Well, it seems that in spite of the warning, this door is indeed blocked. The sign says, "Emergency exit, Beechwood Oracle Bookstore. Do not block." Well, it seems that in spite of the warning, this door is indeed blocked. Doesn't look like it's going to be complicated to open this door with a crowbar. Done. They crisscross the building facade from top to bottom. And from what I've seen, this system of staircases is used only on the oldest buildings in the city. Three huge lights struggle to illuminate everything they can with their precarious electrical system. They actually seem to create more shadows than light. In the old world, this building would have already been condemned and demolished as a ruin. But in the new world, it's got to be one of the best preserved I've seen in the city. It looks like this heating technology is not limited to the refugee camp. These bonfires are used here too, and their emissions are just as toxic here as they are there. What the hell could they be burning in them? Okay, I'll use the can to avoid touching those disgusting fish with my hands.
Oh no, the image of that guy again. It's like a loop that keeps repeating. Over and over again. A damn nightmare that repeats over and over again.
The lights are broken and burnt out. I'm not going to waste time on this. That's the entrance to that horrible subterranean medical center for the dissolved. A gigantic tomb of granite and cement for those poor incurable patients. In the distance, the other end of this tunnel fades out of sight among the shadows. Where does it lead? Before I go down, I'll leave the heavy stuff here, in case the rope doesn't support my weight. It's useless. I should just accept the idea that these fish won't ever swim in freedom again. I'll get my stuff. The road leading into the refugee camp. Mud, dust, and dirt gives new arrivals a warm welcome.
There you are, you mangy beasts! So you dared to come out, did you? Now I've got you! Ow! Goddamn revolting cats! Sooner or later I'll get each and every last one of you! I promise you!
Don't get mad. Your technique's improving. You almost got one this time.
Shut up!
Now I get it. This is the system that controls the amount of current that reaches each of the streetlights.
What the shit? Why does nothing work right in this filthy city?
Looks like a voltage surge. Suppose you think the cats are to blame.
Shut your mouth or I'll shut it for you! I'm not letting those flea-bitten beasts out of my sight! No chance, mate!
It reigns over the building, with its crown of twisted antennas and broken air conditioners. On the rim, there's a shiny object. Although at this distance, I can't make out what it is. The fire escapes on the building extend down from that rooftop. I can't stop my eyes fixating on that gleam of metal I see on the edge. What the hell could it be? It's one of those plastic bags used to wrap up the patients in their final hours until they finally dissolve. The damp, sticky texture alone sends shivers down my spine. That means it's been used. The lights are broken and burnt out. I'm not gonna waste time on this. Use this here? How? Hey, wait a minute. I've seen this place before. I've been here. I recognize this rooftop. Those trees, the park, the statue. Tomorrow comes today. Of course, the photo from the poster. It was shot from someplace in this very building. But what's the meaning of all this? And could it be that the voice wasn't actually trying to lead me to that burned out bookstore down there, but rather to this building? To this place?
Oh no, here comes that sensation again. It's like floating in a dense liquid, while everything around me changes and repeats in cycles. Good God, I think I'm starting to lose my mind.
There's a piece of paper stuck to the door, and it looks like it has a handwritten message on it. Let's see what it says here. Who could Sarah be? And this Chris, could he have something to do with the person I saw in my vision? The front door of this apartment has been reinforced with various locks and bolts. Despite the surveillance by the soldiers, the people who live in this building must be terrified of burglary and looting. An ordinary wooden door, one that's a whole lot less ostentatious than the neighbors. Wait a minute, there's a metal plaque on the wall next to the door. Michael Argent, photographer. I can't believe it. This is the apartment of a man named Michael, an apartment located above the Beechwood Oracle bookstore, and in the building where the photograph on the poster was taken. Can all this really be a coincidence? I can hardly believe it. But is it possible that the voice in my head has been guiding me to my own front door? Of course, it's locked, and I think it's better if I don't try to pick the lock. I could be mistaken for a burglar, and the last thing I need right now is for someone to call the guards patrolling this area.
Isn't it time for you to go back to your nest, rat?
That ignorant bastard is starting to get on my nerves. Yes, I do have to be going. By the way, how did the chase go? Were those cats too quick for you?
You'd better go. It's not in your best interest to get my partner any more agitated. Not tonight.
You shut your mouth, you rat, or I'll shut it for you! I won't warn you again! Those beasts are possessed, and I'm going to exterminate them, one by one, with my bare hands if I have to!
I'm sure that would make you the pride of the force. Just one more thing. Try to stay away from the trash cans next time.
I've warned you, you filthy rat! You've worn out my patience! Ow! This'll teach you to treat me with a little more respect! I'm going to wipe that stupid grin off your face!
Ouch!
This is the only language you shitheads from the refugee camp understand! So, you're going to treat me with respect now, aren't you?
Come on, leave him alone. You'll kill him. He is a mole after all, and it's in our interest to keep him alive. Come on, let's get out of here.
Well, you're safe for now, but I have a very good memory for faces. Another day, I'll finish what we started, Rat. I swear it!
I don't think doing this would serve any purpose. These stains mark the spot where that bloated psychopath knocked me down with his flashlight. Now I can say I've made my mark in this new world. Wait a minute. In all that blood, there's something white. It's a fragment of one of my teeth. Before I go down, I'll leave the heavy stuff here, in case the rope doesn't support my weight. Okay, I'll use the bucket for what it was designed for, to be filled with water. I'll get my stuff. Here goes. Maybe we can still salvage something from the fire. Now that the fire is out, I don't intend to carry this rusty bucket around anymore. I'll get rid of it. The head of one of Colin's dolls is sticking out of the charred mess. Since it's made of wood, I can use the nails to attach something to it. But what? Since it's made of wood, I can use the nails to attach something to it. But what? Let's see. I'll use the rusty nails to attach these two objects together. With the rusty nails, I've been able to attach the wooden crate I found in the cleanup brigade's closet to the boards. So now I have a crate with wooden legs. And a carpenter I'm not. I could use the electrical tape to hold something to this object. But what do I want to add to it? Let's see. I'll use the electrical tape to join these two objects. The bad news is that I just used up all the electrical tape. The great wave may be making me lose my mind, but I'm still not crazy enough to want to put a piece of burnt plastic in a crib.
Thank you, Mr. Sleepyhead. This cradle is just like the one in the picture. Now I can rock my baby to sleep and sing to him. But now I need you to find the baby. I won't tell you your secret if you don't bring me my baby. Bring me my baby boy, Mr. Sleepyhead.
Okay, don't worry, Rose. I'll do it. I'm not proud of what I'm about to do, but I need to find out that secret Rose is keeping from me. And if she wants her baby, I'll give her back her baby. I've brought you your baby, Rose.
Did you bring me my baby? Did you bring him? Thank you so much, Mr. Sleepyhead. You kept your word. You brought me my baby.
Now I need you to tell me that secret you promised to reveal if I brought what you asked.
Yes, our secret. I have something that belongs to you, Mr. Sleepyhead. It's the key that opens your chest of dreams. And now, it's yours again.
But it's a real key. Where did you get it?
I found it in your jacket after Rod and his wife gave me your clothes. When I got to my room, the key fell on the floor and made a clinking sound. I had just seen you sleeping in their trailer, like a big bear. And then I figured it out. It was the key to the chest where you were keeping your dreams. Because you like to dream, don't you? Of course you do. That's why your name is Mr. Sleepyhead.
The key that opens my chest of dreams.
Thank you very much for your help, Rose. Take good care of your son.
I should be going now.
No, please. Don't go. Don't leave me here. Now that I found my baby, I have to get away from here. Far away. I have to get away from the haunted castle. If you leave, more men will come and hurt me, and they'll lock me up in the dark again. And I can't stand the dark. That's when those soldiers come back and take me with them. And now they'll want to hurt my baby, too.
The hunter was clear. I mustn't get mixed up in his affairs, or there'll be a hell to pay. I'm sorry, Rose. I can't do anything.
Mr. Sleepyhead, I can't stand it anymore. Don't let them touch me again. Please help me. You have to get me out of here. Like the knight in the stories. You're my knight, and I'm your princess.
Good God. This is unbearable. Victims and executioners. It sums things up. And what was I? What was my role before the Great Wave? Damn it. I can't just leave that poor girl to her fate. I have to do something to save her, even if I don't know what that is yet. I'll help you, Rose. I'll help you get out of here.
Thank you, Mr. Sleepyhead. Do you promise? Will you be my knight in shining armor?
Yes. Let's see if my intuition is correct. Yes, the key that opens my chest of dreams is a key that in fact belongs to Michael Argent, photographer. The key to my own apartment. The outside of this closet is covered with photos cut out of magazines and newspapers. It looks disproportionately huge in this tiny apartment. It's the backdrop I used for the photography I did at home. It's hanging down from that wooden beam, held in place with screws. No, I'd only rip it if I tried to pull it down without first taking out the screws.
It can't be. It's me. This photo. I remember it. I remember this photograph.
Please, Michael, help us. Only you
do it.
And this woman she's Emily. She's my wife. Now I remember her. The person who's been communicating with me all this time. Emily.
I love you, Michael.
And I now pronounce you...
Don't ever leave me.
I won't.
I have something to tell you, Michael.
Are you really? Oh, yes!
Things are not going well between us, Michael. You know that.
It's only a rough patch. You'll see.
It's all your fault!
You have to get on top of this, Michael. It's destroying both of us. I'm afraid of you.
Shut up! Shut up!
Everything will be different. Remember that vacation we took to the beach when we were getting to know each other? Everything will go back to the way it was.
Promise me.
I promise. Oh, Emily, what does all this mean? Where are you? How can I find you? What are these messages you keep repeating in my head? I've lost my mind. I've lost my mind. That's the only logical explanation for this. Oh, Emily. My poor Emily. Where are you? How can I find you?
As dry and as empty as the contents of my memory, I see various liquor bottles scattered around the room. That explains the odor I find so unbearable. Solstice Times, that's the name of this newspaper. Now I understand. This file cabinet holds copies of newspapers and magazines my photos appeared in. It seems like as a photographer, I was very fond of my own work. The New Truth. The title of this publication appears in the front page. First, I'll put the newspaper I took back in its place. As much as I might like my old photos, I have no intention of carrying around any more paper than necessary. Today Progress, one of the many newspapers stored in the filing cabinet. It seems like a good idea, but the GPS signal is very weak in here. I think it would be better to use it in an open area rather than indoors. It seems like a good idea, but the GPS signal is very weak in here. I think it would be better to use it in an open area rather than indoors. Of course! The letters TNT on the letterhead of Sarah and Chris's note stand for the newspaper, The New Truth. I'll enter the address of the newspaper office shown on the front page. The map indicates a place near the main avenue of the city. Will it still be standing? Let's go find out.
Good God, Michael, is that you?
There's no question about it. That's the person I saw in my vision. The person mentioned in the note I found in my house. What was his name? Hello, Chris.
Come in, quickly. It's dangerous to be out on the streets at this hour. Michael, I'm so glad to see you again. After all that time without hearing from you, Sarah and I feared the worst. But tell me, why didn't you come sooner? Where have you been all this time?
From his enthusiastic welcome, it looks like this man and I were good friends in the past, before the entire world collapsed. But can I trust him? I don't know. Do I have any other choice? It's a long story, Chris. Very long.
I'm all ears, old friend.
And while I tell him everything I can remember, the few things in my memory since waking up in Rod's trailer, I see a mixture of tenderness and compassion on his face. Something I haven't seen in anyone else since waking up in this hellhole. I haven't the slightest doubt. I can trust this man.
I'm sorry for everything that happened, Michael. Sarah and I had been trying to get in touch with you for a long time, but the Great Wave made it impossible to find you. Now I know why. As a matter of fact, she went out to take that note to your house. I haven't seen her since. Tell me, did you find Sarah? Did she tell you she was coming here?
Sarah? I'm sorry, but I just found this handwritten note on the door. That's all.
Of course, forgive me. You already told me that you were blanked. You don't remember her. Sarah is my wife. Emily and she were close friends. In fact, they ran the Beechwood Oracle bookstore together, right below your apartment. That's how you started working with us at the New Truth. And the two of you, Emily and you, became like family to us. I want you to know that what happened to Emily affected us deeply, Michael. Sarah was devastated. We could hardly bring ourselves to speak to you at the time. I'm so sorry for what happened to her.
What the hell are you talking about?
Good God. Don't tell me you don't remember that either. Emily died, Michael.
But that's impossible.
I'm sorry to be the one to make you relive that hell. You yourself told Sarah and me on the phone, a little while before you returned home. It happened while the two of you were in Japan, scarcely a few days before the Great Wave hit. At the paper, we sent you on an assignment to do a photo essay on those strange lights that had been sighted in the sky over Tokyo. So you got all your photography equipment together and set off right away. Emily went with you. You two decided to use the trip as a chance to work on your marriage, which had been in trouble for a long time. You were in bad shape, Michael. Your financial problems, her miscarriages, your violent, self-destructive nature. Emily couldn't take it anymore. You were putting her through too much back then.
Things are not going well between us, Michael. You know that.
It's only a rough patch. You'll see.
It's all your fault!
You have to get on top of this, Michael. It's destroying both of us. I'm afraid of you.
I can't help it. It's that demon. You know I can't help it.
From what you told us, things were getting better. After so many years, both of you were starting to rediscover each other.
Everything will be different. Remember that vacation we took to the beach? When we were getting to know each other? Everything will go back to the way it was.
Promise me.
I promise.
Until one night in your hotel, Emily started to feel sick. It all happened very fast. She was having fainting spells, vomiting, running a fever. You took her to the nearest hospital where she was admitted immediately.
Emily, what's happening? Emily! Emily!
And a few hours later, they told you she was dead. They wouldn't even let you see her body. They wouldn't let you see her. The Japanese authorities hustled you off on the next plane out. It was all very strange and disconcerting. And the very night you arrived, the Great Wave hit.
Oh, Emily. Now I remember it. I remember everything.
I remember her pale, haggard face when she took my hand. Don't worry. It's nothing. Everything will be all right, she was saying, while they were wheeling her deep into the hospital. And she waved goodbye to me, forcing a smile to cover her fear. And then I saw it. I swear I could see how time was stopping. Little by little, in her eyes. Emily can't be dead. She talks to me. I've been hearing her voice for some time now. You must think I've lost my mind.
From the little we were able to talk to you before you got back, we could see that her death hit you terribly hard, Michael. You felt extremely guilty for the way you treated her those last few years. You said you would never be able to forgive yourself. It's possible that the pain warped your mind, but it's also possible that what is happening to you is real.
If Emily died before the Great Wave, how can what's happening to me be real?
Let me tell you something. In spite of the catastrophe, at the New Truth, we've never stopped working. For Sarah and for me, this newspaper is our life. And since the Great Wave, our contacts and confidential sources haven't stopped bringing us the most incredible and chilling information you could imagine. Thousands, no, millions of unexplained phenomena are taking place simultaneously all over the world, Michael. We're living through the strangest and most confusing times in our history, and any hypothesis, no matter how crazy, must be taken into consideration, even what you just told me. There's no question that something extraordinary is happening all over the world because of the Great Wave, the emergence of the dissolved, and our gradual approach to the dead synchronicity point.